When my wife Emma said she'd be out shopping all day with her best friend Ashley, I didn't think much of it. Saturdays were usually her time downwind, and I spent them catching up encores or reading. She kissed me goodbye, grabbed her purse, and left with her usual cheerful wave. The morning sunlight filled the kitchen as I poured myself another cup of coffee, thinking it would be a quiet day. I started cleaning out the garage when I noticed Emma had forgotten her water bottle on the counter. I smiled to myself, planning to text her about it later. Around 15 minutes passed when my phone buzzed with a message from Ashley's husband, Mark. We weren't close friends, but we knew each other well enough to chat casually. He texted *, "Hey, is Emma still home? Ashley left her phone here. I wanted to know if she could bring it when they meet." I frowned a little, reading it twice. "Wait," I replied, "Emma left to meet Ashley about 12 minutes ago." Mark responded almost instantly. "That's strange. Ashley hasn't left yet. She's still getting ready." For a moment, my heart sank. Not from suspicion, but confusion. Maybe plans had changed. Maybe Emma had stopped somewhere first. I didn't want to overthink, but something about the timing felt odd. I decided to text Emma just to check in. "Hey, did you forget your water bottle? Also, Mark says Ashley's still home. Everything okay? No reply. Minutes ticked by. I shrugged it off and went back to cleaning. But before I could even organize the next shelf, I heard the familiar sound of our front gate creaking open. I turned around, confused. Emma's car pulled up the driveway. She stepped out holding a small grocery bag, smiling like nothing was unusual. "You're back early," I said, trying to sound casual. She froze for a second, then smiled again. "Thought it looked a little forced." "Yeah, I just realized I left something," she said, placing the bag on the table. "Thought I'd grab it before heading out again." I nodded slowly. "That's funny," I said lightly, "because I just talked to Mark. He said Ashley hadn't even left the house yet." Emma blinked, her expression shifting. For a few seconds there was only silence, the kind that carries unspoken tension. Then she sighed, pulling out a chair. "Okay," she said quietly. "You're right. I wasn't going shopping yet. I just needed a moment." I frowned, not understanding. "A moment for what?" She hesitated before answering. "Lately, I've been feeling overwhelmed. Work, family, everything. When I told you I'd be out shopping, I just wanted a quiet drive, some time to think." Her voice trembled slightly. "I didn't want you to worry, so I said I'd be with Ashley." I felt Micah's relax a little. Her honesty caught me off guard. "You could have just said you needed space," I replied gently. "You didn't have to pretend to be somewhere else." She nodded. Her eyes soft. "I know it was silly, but I thought if I said I needed time alone, you might think something was wrong between us." I sat beside her. "Emma," I said, "you don't need to hide when you need to breathe. Everyone needs that sometimes, even from the people they love." She smiled weakly, tears forming at the corners of her eyes. I guess I didn't realize how much I was holding in. We spent the rest of the morning talking. Really talking. Something we hadn't done in weeks. She told me about the pressure at work, about feeling like she was always rushing to keep up. I listened, realizing how easily life's noise can drown out quiet hearts. By the time we finished, the sunlight outside had shifted into a warm afternoon glow. Emma reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "Thank you," she said softly, "for not assuming the worst." I smiled. "Thank you for coming back." Later that evening, we took a walk together. No phones, no distractions, just two people remembering why they chose each other in the first place. The misunderstanding had started with a small lie, but ended with a deeper truth. Love doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it just needs honesty and time. 8 hours earlier, she had planned to spend the day shopping. Instead, we spent it reconnecting. Maybe that was what we both needed all along.